Greetings, one and all. Welcome to my YouTube channel at Inner Rise Life. Just give me the sunshine. That was just playing in my mind. It's Friday the 9th of June in London, England, and yeah, summer has landed. So I just not too long ago came from the park. I've been out since 12. Just needed to soak in that sun and do leisure, as Fridays is my days off. So I thought I'd jump on here and do my next installment of promotion and reading from my book, Inner Life Rights. Inner Life Rights, a manifesto for connecting to love, renewing your mind and radiating your light, was released this year, April. My second book. If you listen to my previous YouTube channels, you'll hear about Inner Life Rights and more, as well as Back to Love, and there's readings from those two books. So I shan't say too much now on those subjects. Okay, so Inner Life Rights, it's the theme running through it is personal and collective responsibility. Just to share a quote, it's an ancient African proverb, and it says, whatever happens to the individual happens to the whole group, and whatever happens to the whole group happens to the individual. So that's the theme of the book. It's about us taking personal responsibility of ourselves and collective responsibility of each other, as a people, the Black community, as well as a race, the human race. And especially at this time, and especially post-COVID, where COVID came to, show us that we are indeed our brother's keepers. It told us and showed us how important collective responsibility was. We really had to work with that and the spirit of cooperation to get through the pandemic. And even though some of us have fallen back to sleep, a significant amount of continue to be awake and have continued to sow, lessons, and wisdom and realizations in their lives coming out of, the pandemic, and how, close to extinction we felt we were becoming as human beings. So Inner Life Rights, I'll read the back again so you get a flavour of the whole book. It says, psychotherapist and inspirational life coach Denise presents her compassionate, clear-speaking, visionary text as a call from the future to make changes now to ensure a sustainable future for humanity. This book shines a much-needed light on this world's current dark night of the soul, and its inner light guides us into new life-affirming behaviours and mindsets. The author addresses the human condition from the roots up and encourages new ways of being, seeing, living and loving that will lead to true and lasting change. The overarching message of Inner Life Rights is that we can all make a difference, and that unprecedented doesn't have to mean bad, only that it is time for a paradigm shift to a more humane and just world. That's what time it is. And whilst I was reading that, it reminded me of a quote of Carl Jung's that I came upon yesterday, and it says, the first part of our lives is spent developing a healthy ego, and the second part is spent, going within, and letting ego go, and I think that's where we are at this time. It's about going within, because we need to find these new ways of living, being, seeing and loving to ensure a future for the human race, let alone for particular communities, continued presence in this world. It's just that time. So yeah, that quote can apply to us individually, but even in terms of evolution. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and read from Inner Life Rights. Oh, and one thing more to say on Inner Life Rights. What's really wonderful about this book is that you can pick it up, you know, and open it up anywhere and read from, you know, where the page falls open on. It's not written in chronological order, though it's written in parts, under themes. But, you know, you can open it anywhere and get some real bite size, you know, wisdom, or, you know, cause for reflection. You know, the book is for people who's really interested in making a difference and in transforming, you know, their lives and then the world, you know, that personal and that collective responsibility. Yeah, so it's not a light read because, you know, it's gone past light reading, well, as far as I can see from my bit of the earth and from my lived experience and from what I believe my life work is and my calling is. You know, I'm really now committed to getting, you know, putting therapy in books, you know, writing books that acts as like therapeutic tools for people who's lost faith maybe in the counselling profession. You know, my books, you know, I go through my healing journey in both my books, Back to Love. Like I said, on other YouTube channels, you can find out a bit more about Back to Love. So where was I going? I've lost my train of thought, which is okay because we're live. Yeah. So, all right, let me just go and read. And if it comes back to me, I'll pick it up from there. Okay, so, oh yeah, just to say as well, in this book, it's a collection of poems, essays, which I call her essays, and, you know, deeply thought through and heartfelt reflections. Okay, so here's one of them. It's entitled On Being Human, Human Doings. Human doings. This is what we have become. 24 hours we are given in a day and we action it to the hilt. Mankind is truly making progress in becoming actual machine. The glorification of busy is at full speed. We treat ourselves and drag around our bodies like some dead weight, as if the body won't exact certain cause and effect payment. We do the same to the earth. We are the only species in the world that works so hard at being anything other than itself. Apples aren't trying to be oranges, elephants, giraffes, pigs, foxes. We have allowed our minds to run amok and get stuffed with what the world says is good and a good look for us. Maybe I find this easy to talk on and recognise because since I was a child, I never wanted to follow anything or anybody. I wanted to be myself. Well, once I gave up on wishing I was a long-eared little white girl. I wanted to set my own standard, watch the latest film, get this or that particular gadget or outfit when I got around to it, not when everybody else was on the hype tip. I seem to have been born with an inbuilt aversion to following popular opinion. If I am going to be part of any crowd, it is the crowd of the underdog, the fringe dwellers, those who stand just enough on the outside of things, looking in, so as not to get lost in other, a lack of presence and perspective that obscure the bigger and much more important picture. I'm never with the popular because I've already experienced and paid a high traumatic price for not fitting in based on looks. I've already had front row seat to the normal, to the popular, to that's the way of things, so why change it? Change it because that way stinks, because that way's unfair and cannot wholesomely prosper, being inhumane and unjust by its very nature. Soon the cause and effect chicken must come home to roost, and I don't want to be in the vicinity when all hell breaks loose. So the moral of this reflection is, just because most people do this and that, or does not make this and that the moral of the reflection is, just because most people do this or that does not make this and that the thing to do. It just means that those people lack the foresight and courage to go against the tide and increase life. It just means most people find it hard to think for themselves and use well that warm-blooded mammal brain we have been given. The brain which some of us have argued supposedly makes us far superior to the animals. Questionable. I do not buy into all that. At least animals are being true to who they are and living their lives as their lives have been designed to be lived. They have that on lockdown. We have our true self on lockdown because we are afraid to be singled out, to stand alone. That is why I love people who go out on limbs. Even if they don't have what is considered talent, they tried. So brave. In mine and the eyes of life, who dares wins. By my own daring nature, I have come to feel very comfortable holding my corner. I have come to feel quite at home standing alone, especially when I dare to take a stand and say what is in my heart and soul, going against the status quo. And when I am coming to the end of my time, whenever that may be, at least I would die knowing I was me and I fulfilled who I was called here to be. That I didn't die with that wonderful music clocked inside me. That I danced to my own humane tune. That is the peace of mind I fall asleep with every night, which I believe is a kind of dress rehearsal for the coming end of transient time. I have my priorities right and I am daily rehearsing well. So to my mind, when nature calls, having to endure the this too shall pass, discomforting fear of being my uncomfortable truth self is a very small price to pay. This sweet surrendered peace of mind, no amount of money, mask or fitting in would ever be able to buy. Although they try, and the powers that don't know how to be, daily endeavour to milk us dry. This way of being for me is my daily bread, as mankind in their right mind cannot live happily and well by materials alone. And the top prize? I get to keep this peace and have that peace live, rest and abide in me, even when I am challenged by the various existential life givens that comes with this very human condition. Yes, this is the life I choose every day to be living, remembering that I am not my life's contents. I am life, her very good self. Human doings. Need to get back to human being, you know, to getting more still and going within, you know, to hear the truth of our experiences, to hear, you know, the direction we could be moving in, you know, just to hear something different and unique that this world needs. So yeah, Inner Life Rights, a wonderful book, if I do say so myself. So once again, as usual, thank you for taking the time to pass through, to listen to this video. Please, if you like what you hear, like, subscribe. You can buy my books on Amazon, 4Ls, Waterstone, Barnes and Noble, Afori Books, Black Collective Books. You can buy my book worldwide at all major book selling outlets. If you want to get in touch with me, you can also my website is innersideout.net. That's innersideout.net, where you'll get to find out about me as a psychotherapist, because I'm a psychotherapist as well as an author. And you'll find out about my books, and there's excerpts of my book in there for you to read and get a taste of, as well as all my social media links. And if you want to send me an email, you can do so at and small a and still I rise 9 at outlook.com. That is and still I rise 9 at outlook.com. And you can also get in touch with me by telephone. All this will be coming up at the end of this video, as well as you see a picture of my books, Back to Love and Inner Light Right. So enjoy the sunshine. Get out there and let those sun rays, you know, nourish you and revitalize you and energize you and, you know, tenderize you. And yeah, stay blessed. Love and light. Bye.